did Jesus speak Hebrew or Aramaic?
Do you want me to prove it, what he spoke?
First answer the question and then you prove.
Only Hebrew, although he probably knew Aramaic and Greek. He may have known it, maybe even some Latin.
Mm-hmm. So how do you know he spoke Hebrew? I don't want opinions. I want to share with my audience facts and information.
Look, man, this is just as clear here as it can be. And it's often just overlooked because people do not know the languages well enough.
Mm-hmm.
But if you turn to Mark, let me show you here. In Mark chapter 15 and verse 34, in English, it says, at the last hour, the 9th hour, Jesus cried out with a loud voice, saying, Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Notice that it's being interpreted, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? But here it is.
Wait, I want to stop you for a second. In the Greek, it has the words, which being interpreted is, my God, why have you forsaken me? In other words, that's not just in the English, the phrase which being interpreted, that's in the Greek. So it's translating from some other language. Okay.
Yes.
And what language is that?
This is Aramaic.
Okay.
Aramaic.
Yes.
But notice, it says, but some of them stood by, when they heard it, said, behold, he calleth for Elijah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
Eliyahu.
Elijah. Which is Eloi. Eloi, lama sabachthani.
Mm-hmm.
But if you turn back to Matthew in chapter 27, in Matthew,
I think it's 20.
in verse number 46, it says, and at the 9th hour, Jesus cried with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, which is, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's the deal?
Mm-hmm.
Some say, well, he calls for Elijah.
Mm-hmm.
Eloi, Eloi in Aramaic just means one thing. My God.
Mm-hmm.
So you could never, from hearing Eloi, Eloi, think that he was calling for Elijah.
Mm-hmm.
But if he says, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, what's Eli?
My God. But it also sounds like Eliyahu.
But it could also be a shortened form for Eliyahu.
Wow.
And every other person that you meet on the street in Israel that's male, his name is Eli.
It's a very common name, that's for sure. So, wow.
So what this is a very clear and positive declaration establishing that Jesus spoke Hebrew.
And
not Aramaic.
And one of the things you say in your book, which is, and that's his Understanding the Difficult Words of Jesus, co-written with David Bivin, you say that he actually probably said, Eli, Eli, lama azavtani.
Lama azavtani.
Which is the exact words from Psalm 22.
Which is the exact quote from Psalms 22.
So you're saying he spoke these words in Hebrew. Somewhere there was a transmission where they end up with one of the words in Aramaic. But then to understand the context, you got to go back to Hebrew.
Yes.
Wow.
But it also, beyond that, proves that Jesus was speaking Hebrew.
Wow.
And there's another point to be made, is that Shavak is also used in Hebrew.
Okay, this is a really important point. And you talk about this in the book, Understanding the Difficult Words of Jesus. One of the things you bring in this book that I actually studied archaeology for my undergrad, and one of my professors was Mishorer, who is the leading expert on coins. But you had something in the book which I believe came from Mishorer, which I didn't occur to me. It somehow I missed, is that virtually all the coins that were minted by Jews were in Hebrew, with one exception, which is a coin, I think, of Alexander Yanai, if I'm not mistaken, or Aristobulus, one of those kings.
Alexander
Yanai. And interestingly, the coin...
the first one.
And it has Alexander Malka, which is Aramaic instead of Melech. So, but other than one coin, all the coins are in Hebrew, which is really, I mean, what's interesting is it's in Paleo Hebrew too, even the Aramaic one. That's the part I definitely didn't know. I had somehow missed that, but that's actually really significant that Hebrew was this language that was widespread. Look, and now with the discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls, and you have many quotes from this, particularly the Bar Kokhba scrolls, we know for sure that people were speaking Hebrew in 135 AD. So certainly they were speaking it 100 years earlier.